In today's beauty industry, whether you're an esthetician, an aromatherapist, handmade beauty artisan, or service provider, today's conversation is going to be one that we don't have often enough. And that conversation is about nutrition for beauty entrepreneurs. We spend days that turn into months and years caring for our clients, making sure they look good, feel good, making sure that everything's in place for them. But what are you doing to make sure that you're staying fueled and energetic as you work to help them maintain their beauty? When we talk about nutrition, we're talking about, of course, what we take into this vessel. And your vessel is your universe, and your universe is what keeps you moving on a daily basis at a given pace that's going to give you energy. The food that you take in is going to be critical. Oftentimes when we're working, especially in salons and spas, we find ourselves skipping meals, or we're grabbing quick bites of things that aren't always nutritious. For instance, a bag of chips, candy bar, even if it's a nutritional bar, you still have to take into account how much sugar is listed on that particular bar. You want to also look at that bag of chips. Even if they say they're healthy, you want to make sure you check the sodium levels, because those particular things control the energy level of us on a given day. And if you're like me, you'll pick up little signs, because eating sugar or even a cup of coffee that's been laced with sugar and cream, it can have a tendency to begin to drain you as opposed to lift you up. So unless you take your coffee black, you're adding things to it that are going to somewhat alter what you're looking for in terms of that energy boost. That quick bag of chips is the same thing. So how would you start your day and start it on the right path, or a better path nutritionally? So smoothies, green drinks, those are healthy starts, but suppose you don't like those things. I know there are certain things that go into smoothies that my system can't handle, like whey-based products, and whey is another name for milk. So any whey-based product, especially in that powder form, my system can't handle that. And my system started telling me those things. So the key is for you to listen to your system as well. What's it telling you after you consume a certain drink, even if it's healthy drinks? Look at the sugar levels in the so-called nutritious drinks that you're purchasing from different places that are drive-through healthy, or from the grocery store's organic and healthy section, or the health food store's organic and healthy section. You want to take a look at what the sugar level is, because the higher the sugar, the more you're going to find that your body is going to react to those particular levels and possibly cause you to crash. So the best thing to start your morning with is a great glass of water, 8 ounces when you get up. That'll get your system beginning to start to hydrate after sleeping all night. So you're breaking that quiet time with something that's going to actually help you begin to move, and your system move, and your joints move, because water is the essence of life. So you want to make sure you take enough of that in at the same time. A fruit salad, but even fruit salads, you want to make sure that you're not overdoing it, because there's a lot of sugar. Where at the time of this recording, we're moving through spring, I should say, slowly approaching the summer month in maybe 45 to 50 days. So you've got things coming into your health food store, grocery store, farmers markets, like cherries and watermelons and mangoes and blackberries and blueberries. All of these are nutritious, healthy fruits. But if you combine all of them into one salad, you're gonna stack sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar. So with that, choose carefully which fruits you start your day with. Same thing goes with starting it with a nice green drink. Something like cucumbers and celery and fresh ginger, a little honey and lemon. That's the type of drink that's going to start moving through your system as well as hydrating, because vegetables like cucumbers and celery, they have a lot of water. And that's one way of taking in water if you don't like to drink it, so to speak, from a glass or from a bottle. Some people will say, I cannot take water, I can't drink water. But you can eat vegetables that contain a lot of water, and you will begin to see your system getting somewhat similar results as if you're drinking. But there's nothing like a great glass of water. When you find yourself midday and it's time for lunch or early afternoon, a great salad that's going to be balanced would work for you. Romaine lettuce, marinated kale, adding some avocado, some walnuts or almonds, maybe some pomegranate, and you want to toss that with a nice salad dressing. And if you make your salad dressing, it's going to be a whole lot more healthy than one that you would have purchased from the grocery store or the health food store. You can add your protein to that. Some people who don't eat meat, they add things like lentils or black bean burgers, and those are great protein alternatives. But if you are still consuming flesh, you might do a grilled salmon with that, or you may have a grilled chicken with that, and that becomes your midday meal. And not only is it going to taste good, it's also going to start helping you to rejuvenate your body, fill you up, and you're eating from a healthy standpoint as opposed to grabbing something that's laden with sugar or something that's got too much starch or gluten in it that's actually going to weigh you down and have you feeling sluggish as you move through your day. These things are important. If you can have your heaviest meal during the day, like midday to early afternoon, the later it gets, the less you will eat, which means you will not go to sleep or go to bed on something that's going to have to digest itself at the end of the day. The harder your system works to digest at night, the more indigestion you're going to have, or things that will cause you indigestion. So as you build your business, you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Because if you don't have the right fuel to help you work through the time slot that you need for your exercise in the morning, for your first drink or your first salad or your midday meal, those things are not going to be beneficial to you if you don't put a system in place and make sure your system is working for you and your body. You're still building your list. You're still trying to find out who your market is if you don't know just yet. You're still having to check your data and your analytics. You're still having to also deal with social media and how to use it to build your business, because it's a great tool. All of those things are extremely important. But the way you feed your body and what you feed your body is just as important, if not more. So we want you to grab your free guide, which is the 9 core elements that will actually talk to you a bit about your niche, your email list, how to build your list, talk about Google Analytics, which is data-driven, or social media, those type of things. And it'll help you get things in place and start grounding yourself as you move more from your in-person type service into the online space. There'll be a link for you to download your free guide in the show notes. And as you sit and read it, whether it's online or you print it out, when you're doing that, and if you're feeling like munching, Make sure you're munching on something that's healthy and something that's going to help you build your body as well as your business. So until next time, take care, stay healthy.